The KENWOOD NX-1000 series are great little radios, and as you can see here, you've got a keypad and display, and on this one it is no keypad, no display. These are ideally suited to general use. They are a low-cost radio and they are very, very good. They're a nice form factor in the hand, but what I'd like to talk about is one of the key features of this radio, which is Autoslot. Now, I have done another video on Autoslot covering all the details, but on this one what we're going to do is go into the detail of how to program Autoslot within these radios. So first of all, to show you how they're set up, radios have got channel change. This does not have a slot information on it, it simply has a group number. So what happens is, when I push PTT on this radio, it pops up through the base station, so you can see the base station lights up here. The other radios, busy lights come on because one time slot is being used, but you can also push PTT on those and a call will go through there. So you can have two calls at the same time, but on random time slots, whichever one is available. And this is a very efficient way of using the radio. You can also have the radio go into an emergency mode where it will drag all of the terminals from both time slots into a particular call, which is generally an all call or an emergency button push. Both are available. And I will run through on a PC exactly how you program that. The first thing you need to do is run a copy of KPG-D6. Once that's run, then you can read the radios and you can push Control R, which will set up for reading. And you can see that's coming in fairly quickly. Make sure your COM port is set for high speed, not slow speed, and you're using a USB port, and it'll be nice and quick. Right, the first thing we see are all of the RF channels that are selected by the selector knob, and the selection is 1 to 10 on the left hand side here, and you can now see that all of the RF frequencies are the same. So we're selecting the repeater channel in DMR, transmit and receive, color code 2, and the only thing that seems to be different here is the channel names. So if we double click on a row there, we will get another window opens with general, analog and DMR tabs. If we look now, we can see that we have dual slot mode, encode decode, a few other things, but the important thing here is the cell call and PTT is group call and it's on the ID list number 1. So this is the ID list for group calls. So if we just whiz through the channels, and channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, channel 5, you can see they're all pretty much the same, with the exception of this number here that changes. So if we now go out of that and we go to Edit, DMR, and have a look at the group ID list, we'll see that those same numbers are appearing here. And the left-hand first vertical column is going to be the ID number. Now, in order to put an all call in here, you could put a number in, or you can type just all, and it will immediately put that in. We've named that all call, and this is obviously appropriate for the display radios, but doesn't matter for the non-display radios. It's transmit and receive, all types. Now, the next thing that's different is there's a different alert tone. So alert tone 8 is dee-da by default. So that means when an all call comes in, you are going to hear dee-da on your radio. Common LED. Some other channels, for instance, this one here, damage control, will have a blue LED when that call comes in, and public address will be green. So we can see all of the tones are common with the exception of reavers and ship PA and our all call. So when you select on your channel change dial, what you're doing here is you're selecting these different groups when you select this. So when you go to an all call, you send that. Fire control, you call everyone that's in fire control on your group. So that's all well and good, but how does an all call go across everything? Well, an all call just does. So whichever slot you're on, an all call arrives, you will go to that call. However, if we go to zone edit, we can see that there is also some persistent IDs. Now, for understanding, I have put group 1 in there, although it is not necessary to do it here because it's an all call. So we've also got 5 and 9, and if we look at 5 and 9, one is reavers and one is PA. What that means is anyone that pops up on the reavers channel on the P&A channel will be heard by all other radios that have got those numbers in there, because they'll be scanning those regardless of which channel they're on. So effectively that's an alert, but it's not an all call. So what it won't do is knock down any calls that are currently in place. Okay, so if you're talking, you're not going to lose your call. Nice, simple and easy to remember that, how that works, but it's one of those things you probably should play with to get it to go in, and you'll just go, oh, okay, that really works. And that is pretty much all you need to know about setting this up. It is very, very simple to do. The repeater is just set up for standard. There is nothing clever about this. Autoslot is a terminal function, not a repeater function. So all that's left to do here is to go to Program, write configuration, and write that in, and that will pop the configuration in the radio, and we have an Autoslot system all up and running. Done. Now we've configured the radios on the PC, they are set to work in a very simple fashion as far as the user is concerned. So simply they change channel here, and the channel is actually a group on the same RF frequency. So as they change through here, as long as there is a single time slot available, their call will go through. So if you push the emergency button or select the all call channel, then all of the radios will go onto that one single call. Alternately, and in normal use, you go to the channel, you push PTT, the available time slot is taken. If no time slots are available, you will get a busy as normal, but it allows you to only select the group you need, push PTT, as soon as a channel becomes available, you will then go through. It makes user operation much more simple. If you would like a copy of the config that we've used today, or further information, please contact KENWOOD.